This ADHD Life is brought to you by you. Thank you for listening. If you'd like to support me in other ways and continue the This ADHD Life mission and podcast, please visit thisadhdlife.com/support. And by ADHD Awareness. Did you know it's ADHD Awareness Month? Yes, every October it's ADHD Awareness Month. Spoiler alert, I wonder what I'll be talking about today. Yes, welcome back into another episode of This ADHD Life. My name is Coach Keith Griffin, and today I'm going to be talking about ADHD awareness. It is Friday the 6th of October as I record this, 2017. We're smack dab in the beginning of ADHD Awareness Month. And while I've been putting out some videos on YouTube recently talking about how ADHDers can be aware of their symptoms and aware of the world around them and sort of help their own ADHD that way, today I'm going to be talking more about why does ADHD Awareness Month exist? I'm sure if you asked most people, they would tell you that October is also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And you don't have to explain to a person that breast cancer exists, and you certainly don't have to explain that just because you have breast cancer, they don't have breast cancer, right? But yet those are two arguments that we often hear, and that's the point of ADHD Awareness Month. One, ADHD absolutely exists. Don't let anybody tell you different. And two, you don't necessarily have ADHD just because you have a few symptoms. So the way I put it is what I am experiencing now as an adult with ADHD is what the average person will experience in 20 to 30 years from now. What the average person is experiencing now is what I experienced as an ADHD teenager back in the 80s and early 90s. It's just the way I put it. I don't know if you can relate to that. But yeah, certainly we're all distracted. Everybody's distracted these days. Everybody's on their phones. Everybody is making less time for family time and multitasking and on the couch with their laptop or iPad while watching a video and maybe also listening to a podcast at the same time. That doesn't mean you have ADHD. What means you have ADHD is when it really starts to affect your life. There's a cluster of symptoms that can start to affect your life really negatively. So one of them that affects my life is overwhelm. And I did a video on that that you can catch over at bit.ly/TALTube. And while you're there, please subscribe. So overwhelm is one of them. Perfectionism is another one. And old Keith, the one that was pre-video Keith, would have gone back and edited that, bungling of the word perfectionism out. But what I discovered this week is I like doing this podcast. I like doing videos. I like doing short videos, but I wouldn't mind doing some longer form content as well. So as I record this today, I am actually recording a video as well that I'm going to lightly edit and throw up on YouTube. It helps keep me accountable in terms of how much editing I'm going to do, because once you enter the video realm, the video editing gets a little bit more complex. It helps me not have to over prepare for the show, because I'm not going to be sitting here with sort of like a crib sheet of different notes and stuff like that. And I don't know. It feels better to me, and that's why I'm doing the video. But back to awareness, ADHD exists. How many times have you heard someone say ADHD doesn't exist, or it's just a ploy by the drug companies to, get children hooked on stimulants? Or, if you just tried harder, I don't get why you don't try harder. Or my favorite one, Keith is not living up to his potential. You know what? Keith was living up to the potential that he had as a 7th and 8th grader, not diagnosed with ADHD. Likewise, not everybody has ADHD. As I mentioned, it sort of has to, cause some trouble for you. And there's a bunch and cluster of symptoms that you need to have present before you're diagnosed with ADHD. So why is it that it's so easy to identify that breast cancer is both a disease and not something that everyone has? I'm not sure, but it could be a lack of awareness, and that's the point of Awareness Month. So, a couple links for you, and I'll throw them in the show notes as well. I mentioned the YouTube channel. Bit.ly/TAL2 will get you right to the YouTube channel. There's also a wonderful screener for ADHD at the ADD.org website. I'll post a link right to that page in the show notes as well. If you're someone that's tuning in and thinking that you might have ADHD, go and check out that screener. And then if you find that you answer more questions in a certain pattern than others, you'll get a result at the end of the test. You might want to go and speak with a licensed professional, a psychiatrist or a psychologist that can diagnose ADHD effectively and officially, because I can't do it. If we talked and we had an intro call, I could tell you whether or not I think you should go to a doctor, but I can't diagnose ADHD. So that is up to the people with tons of college training to do. As part of ADHD Awareness Month, there is an ADHD coalition. It's called ADHDawarenessmonth.org. And they sponsored a video contest recently. Please check it out. I did a video for there. I am not eligible to win prizes. But the point of that organization is to raise awareness of ADHD both being a thing and what the treatment options are, and sort of building a community. It's a triple funded site, or not funded, but triple sponsored site. There are members from the Attention Deficit Disorder Association, which is what I serve on. There's members from CHAD, which is sort of like ADDA for children and parents. And there's also members from the ACO, the ADHD Coaches Organization, that all come together every year to put on a different website, a different theme, different Facebook group. I know ADDA has a frame right now that you can get for your Facebook profile photo. And maybe next year we'll have a ribbon or something like that. I'm thinking maybe I want one of those sort of outdated rubber squeezy things, but that means that I'd have to be on that team to suggest that. So I don't know. Maybe not. As part of Awareness Month, I am also going to be doing a few different live streams. You can go to my website and check out the events calendar, and you can also sign up for notifications. I've recently been streaming on Twitch a couple times a week, doing a weekly planning session and a weekly wrap-up, so you can check those out. I'm also doing I'm thinking of doing a Facebook Live and or a YouTube Live. Check out the comments section. Let me know if one of those is something that you would prefer. And if you want extra credit, maybe tell me day of the week, time of the week that is best for you to attend something like that. And then go to thisadhdlife.com/notify, and I will send you a reminder when something like that is scheduled. Those sort of sessions, I'll be answering general ADHD questions, and frankly, just allowing you to talk to someone else that has ADHD, because that's another element of ADHD Awareness Month, is that many of the adults with ADHD that I talk to think, I have never talked to someone else with ADHD. I relay this common story, and if you've heard it before, I'm sorry. But this common story that I have of I live 3 floors up in an apartment building, and every month I pay rent to a management company who pays it to a real estate trust, who then takes part of it and pays it to taxes and to electricity and to water and to upkeep and everything like that. And I think to myself, how did we as human beings evolve to this point where this is how we want to live? More times than not, the people I talk to that have ADHD relate to that story. They're like, yeah, man, I've thought that my whole life, but I've never actually shared that with anyone. So that's an element of ADHD awareness as well. This is going to be a short show today because I have crammed my schedule full, and while I am no longer overwhelmed, it is 1:53 in the afternoon. I have a meeting in about 7 minutes, and then I'll be editing this podcast to go out to the YouTubes and iTunes and all like that. It's going to be a short podcast, but I'm going to try to do one each day, each week this month. For ADHD Awareness Month. If you have anything specific you'd like to talk to me about, throw it in the comments below or email info@thisadhdlife.com. I appreciate your tuning in. I appreciate you subscribing on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, YouTube, Facebook, anywhere you can subscribe. I'm Coach Keith Griffin. Again, thanks for tuning in. And if I can be of service to you, hey, check out thisadhdlife.com and schedule an intro call. Maybe it would be a great coach-client fit. Who knows? Have a great week. Until I talk to you next time. Take care.